Hello, welcome to Bella TV. I'm Ilsy J. I'm here for Hispanic Heritage Month. Here I have Bleomoctezuma, all the way from LA. He is an award-winning choreographer, artist, actor, everything that you could think of. And I am so excited for everyone to hear more about him. Hi, Leo. How are you?
What's going on? How are you,
Oh,
love?
I love the Puerto Rican flag in the background.
I know it's yeah. Our pride is incomparable.
You know it. You know it. So I am excited because you've danced with Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, if I'm not mistaken, Ricky Martin as well.
Ricky Martin for sure.
Oh, who else? Pink as well.
Pink,
Oh my gosh, this is like,
J-Lo, Spice Girls.
that's amazing. So how did you get into choreography?
Oh wow. Well, ever since I was a little kid in New York, I loved dancing. Like you ask my parents, my sister, and my cousins. We would always like copy videos and put little shows together in our living room for the family. We would literally close the doors and choreograph a little shows together, and then like charge our family to come into the living room to see our show. So it started. So it's definitely dance started when I was a little child. Parents, they put me into dance when I was like 10, 11. I did 3 months of tap, jazz, and ballet at Ridgewood Dance Studio in New York.
Okay.
And then after the recital, they just ended up taking me out because I guess all the other guys in the studio left the studio. So they were like, well, I guess you don't have to be there. At the time, I didn't know any different. You know, I just kind of would do what they would say and enjoy it. But in high school is when it all kind of like came back to surface, and I found the love for it again.
Okay. How did you're Puerto Rican, obviously, from New York.
Yes.
How did your Puerto Rican heritage influence, your dancing and just your love for dancing?
Yeah, well, like I said, growing up in New York, I actually spent 4 months out of every year in Puerto Rico. It was like a traditional thing that we did. So, I am a New Yorican, but I'm more Puerto Rican than a New Yorican,
New
just
York.
because, yeah, I know, I love and know my culture so well. Like I spent 4 months, like 2 months in the summer and 2 months during the holidays in Puerto Rico, since I was a baby till I was like 13 years old. So Puerto Rico and my culture influenced a lot of who I am today and who I am in my life. Yeah, it's the Latin culture is just so amazing. Like it runs through my blood. You know what I mean? The Latin music, just everything is just passion, full passion, passion, passion.
Yeah, yeah. So I know that we just came up on anniversary for Hurricane Maria, and you were actually there when it happened. Tell me a little bit about that experience and the devastation that happened there and how you were able to give back.
Yeah, Hurricane Maria, it hits home really, really hard. Not to be a Debbie Downer, but I actually went to Puerto Rico on the 18th, no, on the 19th, which is actually my birthday. And I was in Puerto Rico for my mom's funeral.
Oh.
So it was, well, I literally, the 19th was just a couple of days ago. So I just turned 40. And yeah, I went to Puerto Rico for my mom's funeral. And that night is when Hurricane Maria hit. It was crazy. It was actually absolutely devastating. Like it felt like a horror movie. We were all them. It was my sister, my brother, my dad, my aunt, and her husband, and we were all in our living room. And it felt like there was ghosts circling the house trying to get in. Honestly, I was in shock. It felt like a nightmare and a dream and everything. So it was horrible. It was horrible. I would never want to relive that experience again. Thankfully, my dad built an amazing house that withstood the hurricane. But like waking up the next morning and going outside, there was houses next to us that had no roofs. Living rooms in the garden. You know what I mean? Like it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable, and I don't know. I wouldn't want to do that again ever. The only thing, but with disaster, there's beauty. You know, I really feel that there's beauty that comes out of disaster, and to see my people come together and help each other just on our island was unbelievable. You know, and
And
that's what I love about being Puerto Rican, is that we're so passionate, and there's just love, and we want to help each other out, and to see that community start coming together and helping each other is what really, what made it okay.
yeah, that's one thing I always loved about the Latin community. We always kind of come together as family, whether you're related or not. We always have like a bond, and to help each other out, whether it be donating food or welcome you into the house, to take a shower, or to get
Yeah,
some rest, or helping people dig out of the rubble of homes. And it was just, I can't even imagine what you know you went through, what the people on the island went through, especially since you just lost your dear mother as well. I'm sure you went through a mixed emotions at that time. I've noticed that you also did a tribute to the island, and you used one of Hamilton's songs to sing, which I love it. I mean, you have an amazing voice as well.
thank you, thank
Can you
you.
tell me a little bit about what inspired you to do that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, as soon as the next morning, and I was out on our balcony, on my casina, is what we call it in Puerto Rico, um, looking around, all I could literally, all the thing that was going in my head is the lyrics to that song randomly. I love Hamilton. I love everything that Lin Manual puts out. But the lyrics are look around, how lucky we are to be alive right now. And that was just so like, it was just drilling through my head over and over and over. So I was like, I was stuck there for like a month, almost 2 months. So while I was out there, I was like, I want to do something like, as a tribute, and for me, dance is therapy. So I was like, I need something to do. So I went ahead and used that song from the musical to just do basically a little dance video is what I wanted to do in the beginning. And I had my brother-in-law come and film me in different places of the island, the beaches that were all torn down and palm trees broken, and the Morro. So basically we went to a lot of different areas on the island, and I just kind of freestyled and did some movement. And then when I got back to Los Angeles, I was like, wait a second, like, I'm a freaking singer. Why use the song as itself and then have to, worry about rights if I want to post it,
Yeah,
I was like, let me just so I decided to do a cover of it. And I recorded the song with my good friend Kyle Puchia, and filmed me singing it at my friend's house in Vegas, who's a videographer, Cameron McKinley, and we just edited the music, the new cover of the song, the videos from Puerto Rico, and the videos that I took in Vegas. My friend Engels edited it for me. So there's so many elements to that video, and it just turned out beautiful. And it's literally therapy for me. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Like, I can imagine. So let's talk about like a little bit of choreography, because you
yes.
just have this long list of experience. And I can't even imagine how exciting it must be to dance with so many amazing artists, music artists. Which one, I'm not going to say your favorite, because I'm sure so many of them are your favorite, but which one was the most memorable tour that you were on, and who you danced with?
Wow. I mean, honestly, it's so hard to just pinpoint one, but since we are talking about our heritage and being Latino, my first tour ever was with Ricky Martin.
Oh, yeah.
And I was 18 years old, 18 turning 19, and Ricky Martin to the Puerto Rican people, it's like Ricky's our Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? Like he was, and it was at his prime explosion, crossover to the American market, and it was literally a dream come true. So that will always hold precedence. I mean, that was the beginning of my professional dance and choreography career in Los Angeles. So that definitely holds a special place in my heart. There's amazing moments. I did 2 tours with Britney, 2 tours with Christina Aguilera. Like those shifted me into the dancer, the pop dancer that I am. You know what I mean? But if I had to say my favorite, you know, my favorite tour, favorite artist to work with would be, and it's just because it brought dance and choreography together. You know, because not every dancer is a choreographer. Just so people know. People say, oh, you know, that's a natural progression, but it isn't. Not everybody can create and choreograph steps. You know, I mean, at least good ones. But with Pink, the Funhouse tour, I had worked with her a couple years prior, assisting choreography. And then a year and a half later, she was doing her next tour, which was the Funhouse tour. And she asked me and my choreography partner, Alison Faulk, to choreograph the show. And not only that, after we had a meeting about choreography and creative, blah, 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 she also asked us if we would dance in the show as well. So, I mean, that show is like my baby. Like, it was like my first big choreography gig, which we won awards for. It was, at the time, there was an award show called Dance Track Awards. And yeah, it honored dancers in the pop world and, you know, different things. So I won awards for that. We won for choreography, and I won for featured male dancer on the tour. So that would have to see. And Pink is one of my favorite artists. Before, like, she's talking
awesome.
about manifesting, like on the Ricky Martin tour is when Pink's first album came out. And I, like, literally my fellow dancers would be like, can you not play that out? Like, we don't want to hear that song yet. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm going to work with her in the future. Like, I love her and who she is. And literally, 10, 15 years later, I'm working with her, you know, on a creative level. So that would have to be one of my favorite, you know, situations.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we're going to go back to New York. So
Okay.
one of my favorite Broadway shows is In the Heights.
Yes.
I remember when it was on Broadway, and I went with my family, had an amazing experience. I grew up for first 4 years of my life in Washington Heights, so it just hit home. You had the opportunity to work on the film, which was supposed to be released this summer, and due to COVID, it got pushed out to next year. So please tell us, how exciting was that?
Oh my God, this is another, honestly, manifesting, you know, full circle moment for me. I'm just gonna take you back just a little bit, like 2005, when In the Heights was actually, you know, being created, the musical. My friend Liz Ramos called me, and she was like, "Hey Leo, there's this new show that's coming out that we're about to do a workshop for, and it's called it's a Latin, you know, influence show, and it's called In the Heights, and I think you'll be great for it." And I was like, "Oh, that sounds great," you know. But at the time, I was about to go on tour with Christina Aguilera. So I was like, "Oh my God!" But now, when I think about it, had I like heard the music or read the script, I would have hands down like just relocated to New York. You know. So it's so crazy that in that moment, you know, that was my first opportunity to work with Lin Manual. And then, so as soon as it opened, I was in New York, and I took my cousin Chadi and my family, and we all went to go see the musical off Broadway. And it was like, what the hell? You know, I want to be a part of this show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, but like I said, my career has been like more into the pop world, even though I grew up doing a lot of Broadway musicals in high school. And yeah, then cut to like 10 years later from that, the movie was going to be made. Kenny Ortega was supposed to do the movie. And there was, I don't know what happened, but I was like literally hitting up my agent. I was like, I need to be a part of this movie. Like whatever it is. And then that kind of fizzled out. You know, they went, you know, nothing. Come to 2019, right? Yeah, 2019. I'm just finishing a little cabaret burlesque show tour, and I hear that they're having auditions for In the Heights. I miss it. I missed the first audition.
Oh no.
I was like, no. I'm like, no. This
like,
can't be happening. No, exactly. So, you know, I literally, I'm flying into LA, and I call my agent because I just missed it by a day. And then she was like, my friend was like, well, they have a callback the next day, which is, so I got in on Monday, the callback was Tuesday. So I called my agent. I'm like, hey, I wasn't in town for the audition. Can you get me into the callback? And they were like, Leo, it's very strict because at the audition they pair people up for the second call. So I don't know if I can get you in. I was like, what do you mean you don't know if you can get me in? You know, for the first time in my life I've ever pulled a little bit of a diva card. And I was like emailing. I was like, what is my career worth if I can't get into a callback? Like, what does my resume mean? You know?
Your New York attitude came out. You were like, you better get me in now.
Oh, absolutely. No, because you know, I mean, I've had an amazing career, but it's so weird to say I'm humble, but I just respect my craft so much. Like, I get it, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, we're all on the same level at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Some people have done more, some people have done less, but like, you know, we're humans, you know? Yeah. But sometimes you got to pull that diva card, you know what I mean? Like when it's something you really, really want, you know? Right. And I mean, we went back and forth for like hours on email, them trying to get me into the audition, and finally they got me a spot. I remember the audition so clear because I was so excited. Like I know the music like the back of my hand, you know? So they did Carnaval. Carnaval, the song for the audition. And not that Puerto Rican flag, but a big Puerto Rican flag was in my pocket. And during the audition, I flung that flag out and started dancing with it. And like everybody was like, ah! You know, it was crazy. Yeah. I mean, it just, I know the musical so much, you know, so that I know that that's exactly what they would want to see, you know. Yeah.
You give me a little bit of that. Give me a little bit. Of what you?
Of what?
Of the song that you auditioned.
Carnaval is the one that in the middle of the song is like Arriba esa bandera, alzala donde quiera. It's like it's just talking about raising your flag and showing your pride, and so literally I get chills just thinking about it. You know, it's crazy. It's really, really crazy. There's so much more to the process, but let's get to obviously I ended up getting the movie, and I'm one of the core dancer ensemble. I don't have like a character in the movie because they were all, they're all celebrity names, which everybody's freaking amazing. But I'm one of the core ensemble members. You'll see me like at least if there's a big production number where there's dancers, and you'll see me somewhere right next to Anthony Ramos or whatever. Anthony Ramos plays Usnavi, and it was the best summer in New York. I spent 5 months in New York just last year, and I fell in love with New York. And the most special part of the movie is that in rehearsal, like it feels so natural and fun, and you're with your friends and amazing dancers. But I was like, you would look around and I'm like, oh my God, everybody in this room is Latino.
Yeah.
And
that's great.
That's unheard of. I mean, these scenes were filled with, like, we created a whole, it's shot in the Heights, in Washington Heights, and we created a city. So everyone was just talented and amazing at the top of their game, and they're all Latino.
Yeah. Well, it makes it so much more authentic as well.
Oh my God, no, the authenticity that John Chu, the director, and Chris Scott, the choreographer, brought to they brought in people that they knew were gonna get the job done, and they knew that it was passion and all about culture, and they were so open to listening to what it is. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, directors, they create their own world, but it's like, no, when we would start staging stuff or like doing things, they were like, is this something you would do in Washington Heights? Like, it needs to be so authentic, you know what I mean? From being in the salon, talking bochinche, and you know what I mean? No me diga. To like being on the streets of literally on the Corn 40 Street with the fire hydrant shooting out. It's just,
oh my gosh, I remember
that. The movie is gonna be amazing, and Latinos are gonna be so proud to go and watch this film.
I can imagine. Well, we're gonna wrap this up, but I want people to find you and continue to follow your journey. Where can people find you?
Yes, you can follow my journey, continue following my journey on all social media platforms. My name, at Bleomoctezuma, Leomoctezuma. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of the above. Yeah, follow my music, follow my dance, follow my choreography. I'm just so blessed and grateful to be Latino, to be Puerto Rican. And yeah, I'm humbled that you guys interviewed me. I'm very, very happy and excited to do this. So thanks again.
Oh, you're very welcome. And thank you for being our guest. Again,
For
this is
sure.
an episode of Bella TV. Thank you to Bleomoctezuma from LA, contributing to the Latin community and doing amazing things. Have a great day.
Thank you.